not so good thing so far. A lot of policemen walking in now. Policemen are walking in. A lot of policemen from the Parliamentary Protection Unit have now walked in, and they are trying to ensure that there is order and there is calm here ultimately for this process to happen. But this table has become the center of attraction with MPs pulling and pushing with a lot of This is chaos. Well, as you can see, I mean, the SMP says they will not allow these tables to be, the tables are literally being pushed and pushed. When the SMP is trying to rearrange the tables, the MPP MPs are not allowing this to happen. And these are really terrible scenes as we are seeing in Parliament with honorable members right at each other's throat, fighting and pushing and pulling tables, saying that this vetting will not happen, that the pushing and pulling is on.
Looking to level up your life.
It is obvious that this vetting may not happen. It is obvious that this vetting may not happen with all that is happening, with public property being destroyed and all that is being happening. There's a certain understanding that perhaps this will have to be resolved in another way, and it is clear that this vetting cannot happen with what we are seeing currently here in Parliament. It's chaos, it's chaos, it's chaos. This is chaos. This is chaos. I'm not sure that this is what a lot of members of Parliament envision or envisage that coming here today. This is what is going to happen. With tables being broken, with a lot of issues still unresolved as members of Parliament try to resolve this situation. There's a lot of policemen now in the middle of this. The leadership are trying to talk about this and how some conclusion in terms of what exactly should happen. But since this is not a vetting that they are going to allow to happen, tables getting broken, microphones are getting destroyed. This is chaos, and this is really much more unprecedented. This is not even like we saw during the election of the speaker, because there was a much bigger space and the conflict was resolved quite in peace at each other's throats. This is literally MPs fighting and saying that their respective positions that they've taken, that this vetting will not happen, And if they cannot agree, then they are going to use violence, they are going to use confrontation to try and resolve this. And ultimately, will they get their way or will they not? It's something that we are still here out here trying to see what will happen with leadership on both sides, trying to engage in the middle of this. But one would say that Parliament itself would agree that this does not reflect well on the institution of Parliament. This is a matter that could have been, discussed as caucuses and some agreement reached. But if MPs had to go at each other's throats, tables are broken. Where is the nice table? It's completely things have come up a bit, but we'll get to see what happens with this. This is really chaotic scenes. Okay, let me get close a little bit to the action whilst Dr. Paul is speaking. I want to make a point as to what exactly is happening. I'm not tired at all. I'm not tired. Well, we see what happens from here, where a lot of public property now destroyed, tables and microphones, completely damaged, a lot of security personnel in here trying to resolve this situation. The conflict as we've seen, for those of you just joining our coverage from the appointment committee, this is a confrontation that has come about as a result of the NDC saying they intend to vet all other ministerial nominees, while the NPP has said they will not do that because they believe they've done this for a long time. This process should not continue, and that they should continue. Earlier on, there was a suggestion saying that given what was going on, this must be put to a vote because it's a majority system. And if you look at the appointment committee, it's an 11-member committee. Votes on it all got destroyed, and so that table is now being taken away from the vetting room, and the leaders are now back. We don't know where around which table they will sit as they come again close to try and ensure that this process is then adhered. This is a lot. The MPs are back after some conversation. They are back in to try and have a conversation as what to do.
That number, and that is why the minority side believes that let's have enough time to grill these nominees, so we don't rush them through 10 minutes. We are going to handle serious ministries in the interest of the republic. So it cannot be a 5 minutes, 10 minutes thing. We've stuck for almost 11 hours today.
I am very sorry that these things that we are seeing are being projected to the rest of the country and to the world. The whole world knows that Ghana has one of the most beautiful and functioning democracies. The Ghana Parliament remains an envy of many parliaments. We've had an election that was so beautiful, the losing side conceded, and the whole world acclaimed us. And you could see that by the number of heads of states who came to witness the transition. So please, let us not destroy that image, that enviable image that we have carved for ourselves to the rest of the world as a beautiful, functioning democracy. I am pleading with all sides. As you can see, we would have continued, but logistically, it is no longer possible to continue. Logistically, the microphones have all been destroyed. And you know that with the microphones destroyed, it will be difficult for the media to carry the proceedings live on their various stations. They may carry the image, but they cannot carry the voice. And vetting is about assessing and evaluating the nominee. As it is now, we in this room may be able to assess and evaluate them by hearing them, but the rest of the country will not be able to do that. The technical staff have closed and they have gone home. And so there's no way, in fact, even if they were here, the distraction of some of the machines here cannot be easily replaced tonight. So for that reason, it is practically impossible to continue with the vetting. So I am pleading with all sides, that we should bring proceedings to an end. And tomorrow, given that the facilities here have been destroyed, by morning we will designate a new location within the House to continue with the vetting of the nominees. But before I end, let me caution everybody that, you see, all of us have supporters out there. All of us need to satisfy our supporters. And so when we are vetting, let's make good use of the time allocated to us so that we can be efficient, we can vet as many people as possible, so that we can have the ministers at the various ministries functioning and delivering on the commitments that Ghanaians endorsed at the polls by the way they voted. So I am pleading with members of the committee. And I will have discussions with my colleague, the minority leader, so that we can come to some conclusion on the time allocation and how long we take to vet individual nominees. So please, I'm pleading with you. Because what we have done today, we have seriously damaged our reputation as a parliament. It will take us a lot of effort to redeem ourselves. But I know that Ghanaians can forgive, and they will forgive us. But going forward, let us be decent when we are doing the vetting. It is not right to spend 3 hours, 4 hours questioning a nominee. It is not right. It provokes a lot of people. I'm not saying we shouldn't ask nominee questions, but let's be moderate in our approach. I can understand the passions and the anger in forming the decision to continue, even though today you have done so well. Indeed, today you had scheduled to vet 3 people. You agreed among yourselves and then made it 4. Then you agreed among yourselves and you extended it to 6. Unfortunately, the development now makes it difficult to continue and implement the agreement. So I'm pleading with you, bear with us. We're ending proceedings and tomorrow we'll continue. Meanwhile,
what if they come tomorrow and they do the same thing? Will you stop?
Oh, please, you know where the instructions are coming from. Sit down. So we are ending. So please, because the machines can no longer function, they've been destroyed. We'll look into that matter. And so we are adjourning to tomorrow at what time? 10 o'clock? We are adjourning to tomorrow at 10 o'clock. At 9 o'clock. So we are adjourning to 9 o'clock tomorrow morning at the Speaker's Conference Room. And we are cautioning the nominees. The Speaker's Conference Room is small. There isn't enough space in the Speaker's Conference Room. So please, nominees, don't bring people, because there's no space in the Speaker's Conference Room to accommodate the numbers that this conference room can accommodate. So thank you very much. Let's that's the majority.
It's not every nominee. Some of your nominees spend 5 minutes. NDC is always up to intimidating people. They think that they must always bully. We will not accept any bully. They can call us micro-minority. They can say whatever they want to say. We've been cooperating with them. Today we agreed to do 3. The clerk to the committee is a partisan clerk. Indeed, she is a typical NDC. She agrees with them and then she advertises and informs people to come. All the practice has always been that chairman ranking would agree as to who and who will come. Yesterday, there was no agreement. The chairman was with me, no meeting. Then in the night, 10 p.m., the clerk advertised 10. This morning, my deputy was here. They had a pre-sitting, they agreed to 3. Later in the afternoon, they said 4. And then again, they said that, oh, let's compromise on 1 more. We said, okay, then he made it 5. Just as we finished the 5th, we realized that they've paraded several other nominees dressed
And then they thought that we will boycott. We will not boycott. We will not boycott. We will not boycott. I'm saying that we will not boycott. Thank you very much.
That is the minority. Minister, I mean.